Guess what I just did? I just filmed a whole book review and I didn't press the film button. So here we go, take 2. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kiki, and in today's video we are just going to do a super quick book review on Happy Place by Emily Henry. I received this book as an art copy through NetGalley. It does get released on April 25th, and I'm telling you now, friends, run. Run to get this book on April 25th. I loved this book so much. Emily Henry is a great author in my eyes. If you love her, you will just automatically love this book. I loved Book Lovers. I enjoyed Beach Read. I didn't like You and Me on Vacation, but I'm telling you now, Happy Place takes #1 spot for me. It is now my favorite Emily Henry book, and that's a huge call for me. I rated this book 4.5 stars. Another big call for me. I don't usually rate romance novels like this higher than a 4-star. A book like this really has to hit home for me to rate it a really high rating, and that's what this book did. The amount of emotion she pulled out of me in this book was just absolutely crazy. I was choking up at the end there. My heart was hurting for these characters, and not just the main characters either, the whole group of friends. The dynamic in all these relationships was so amazing. We follow Harriet's perspective throughout this whole book. We have a past timeline and a present timeline. Our past timeline is Harriet's happy place. It's her favorite memories. In these happy place memories, we are learning her and Wen's love story. We're seeing how they met, how they fell in love, and how they kind of drifted apart. This is a second chance romance. I don't like second chance romance books at all. I don't vibe with them, but this one I actually really enjoyed. I think it's because we went into it not knowing how they broke up. We went into it with this sense of the hurt was already done. Now they're on this annual holiday with their group of friends. They've been doing these holidays for 10 years now. They haven't told their friends that they separated 6 months ago. So for the next week, they are pretending to stay together, which, forced proximity, 1 bed, 2 of my favorite tropes. I'll tell you what, it was a great read. I loved this so much. I loved how we are learning how Harriet is figuring out that she's got to grow as an individual. She can't keep pleasing people. She's a people pleaser, and she can't keep doing that. She has to do what she wants for her own life. And then we have Wen, who is our MMC. He's realizing that his mental health needs to come first. We have mental health issues in this book. The way Emily Henry wrote about these was just beautifully done. She touched on how Wen got help and how he voiced this to Harriet towards the end of the book, and I really, really loved that. I really loved the communication there. I loved the dynamic of all the friends in this book. I loved how we weren't just finding a way for Harriet and Wen to come back together, but we were finding a way for the whole group to come back together, because over the years they've done this. They have their own careers, their own goals, their own relationships. They're growing as individuals, they're changing, they're evolving. They're kind of drifting apart. This last holiday, this last trip that they're doing in this small town that they always go to, is their way of trying to reconnect and build that bond back up. The fallout that they have in the end really, really hurt. The happy ending we get was just so well worth it. It's like your heart it aches and it aches and it aches, and then all of a sudden you are feeling so happy and so thankful for these friendships and for this couple. I have never rooted for a couple like I have Harriet and Wen. I have never cheered on for a couple in a book like I have Harriet and Wen. I loved them so much. I could not wait to see how they got back together. I couldn't wait to see how their bond was going to reform and how they were going to work through their difficulties. As humans, that's what we do. We change, we evolve. The hardest part about being in a relationship sometimes is learning to let our other half evolve and change. But falling in love with that new version of them and to keep falling in love with each other over the years. I really thought this book was written really well for that. It was amazing to see this couple just transform, have their happy ending, and I loved it so much. This book deserves all the hype it's going to get, I'm sure. I loved it. I highly recommend it. You need to go read it. It's just one of those books where it pulls on your heartstrings. It's really hard to kind of form into words how it makes you feel at the same time. Like, it's just, you just need to go read it. So April 25th, guys, go read Happy Place by Emily Henry. Super quick review for you. There's probably a lot more thoughts going on around my head, but I am also one of those book readers where I read a book, I remember the story as a whole, I remember the emotion it makes me feel, but if you ask me small details, I can't tell you. Just going to wrap this up really quickly. Let me know in the comments below if you plan on reading this, if you have added it to your TBR, if you're going to add it to your TBR now. I will be writing a book review on my bookstagram page, of course. That might have a little bit more detail in it because I have all the notes in the world in my phone for that. I'll see you all in the next video.